So AI is really blowing up right now. Like it's getting really serious out there. I'm seeing a lot of videos about AI for lawyers and people recommending all kinds of things with AI for lawyers. But I gotta be a contrarian. Like I really think AI for lawyers is a scam. Like it is. Okay, so let's talk about that. Hi, I'm Candice Quinn, the founder of Contract Hack, and I'm here to tell you all the things that other people won't tell you about the law profession, being a lawyer, and law school. So today I'm going to talk to you about AI for lawyers and why I think it's one of the biggest scams out there today. So right now it's the AI gold rush, right? Like everywhere you turn, every product has some kind of AI. Like you open your email, like, do you want AI to summarize this? Like I could just read it. Do you think I get books as emails? It's crazy. There's so much out there about AI, and there's lots of ways that AI is really, really helpful. Like I love it at a personal level, and there's lots of things it helps me do and do faster. And even as a lawyer, there's lots of things that helps me do and do better and faster. But there's lots of ways that it doesn't help me and can't help me. And legal tech companies really want to push AI for lawyers, and they're not telling the full truth about what their product can do and what it can't do for lawyers. Okay, so number one is the AI tech that says it will draft contracts for us. All right, so I've tested this out a little bit, and in my experience, it doesn't draft a fully complete contract. It's missing provisions, it has contradictory provisions. It just isn't the full thing of what you want it to be. And you're going to spend more time making it what you want it to be or what it needs to be than if you would have just started with a template that you already had in your repository. For example, I asked an AI tech to draft me an NDA, and this was a fully dedicated to legal AI tool. And what it drafted me was honestly complete garbage. It asked me a whole lot of questions that, quite frankly, it didn't need to know, because the answer for all of them was yes and would always be yes in an NDA. What it spit out was something that was passably an NDA and probably would have been okay if I used it. But it took me longer than if I just pulled the template I already used out of my repository and drafted the NDA from that. So if it can't handle an NDA, how is it going to handle an asset purchase agreement or a stock purchase agreement or a master services agreement? It's not going to hit all the points that you want. It can't draft anything for you. Let's face it, most of us attorneys already have a repository of templates that we like to use, or we can duplicate and revise from another template that a colleague used or someone else in our firm used, and we can modify as needed to make it exactly what we want it to be. Those options are still going to be faster than asking an AI tool to draft you a contract from scratch. It just is. And you're not going to have to do nearly as much work in checking it for accuracy and avoiding hallucinations as you will with the AI tool. Number two, AI legal research tools. This is also just a complete scam. These AI tools are not trained on all of the resources that they need to be trained on to fully give you accurate legal research. Even the ones connected to Westlaw or LexisNexis are not connected to the bulk of their legal research. So you're going to get things that are outdated or inaccurate or limited in jurisdiction, but it's not going to tell you those things. It's going to tell you it with confidence, like this is the answer, and you're going to have to double check that answer. But in double checking that answer, you could just do the research yourself. So there are some limited use cases where you can get some general answers that are helpful and give you a good starting point for research, but that's all that it is as a starting point. You are going to have to double check everything. It's completely optional to use this AI tool, but it's certainly not going to save you any time, and you're still going to be doing the research yourself. So if you hate research, like I hate research, if you hate research, it's not going to stop you having to research. You're still going to have to do it, and you're still going to end up using the same tools to do it. Okay, number three, AI contract review. Okay, they miss all nuance. They miss all judgment. They either point out every single line of the contract as an issue and flag it, or they point out two things that aren't even issues and say the rest looks good when that's not the case. It's just doesn't understand the nuance. It doesn't understand the different wordings of things. Take, for example, indemnification clause, where there's multiple ways that you can phrase things that really matter, that really make a difference in what that clause means within the contract. AI does not get that. It's not going to understand those nuances. So you're going to have to keep looking at all of the contracts, reviewing it. And when they've reviewed it first, it's going to take you longer to go through and review because you're looking at all these issues it's flagged and thinking, what am I missing here? What am I missing here? Why is it flagging this? When if you just looked at it yourself, you would know there's no issue. You would be confident in your answer and you would move on. So for me, I don't think this has any value at all. I don't see myself stopping reviewing a contract anytime soon in favor of using AI only. I just don't think it's realistic. Okay, next, legal AI writing tools. I don't think anybody can write like an attorney. Like, I don't even know if attorneys can write like attorneys sometimes, but I definitely know that legal AI cannot write like a US attorney. It writes very traditionally with whereas, hereas, and that's just not how attorneys write in the US anymore. Our pleadings aren't like that for the most part, as far as I know, and our contracts are certainly not set up in that pattern anymore. And anytime I've asked AI to write something for me, it typically gives me a more verbose, more lengthy clause when a shorter one would have covered everything more succinctly and with less ambiguity. So I don't recommend using it for AI. I don't recommend using AI for legal writing because I don't find it particularly helpful. I don't find that what it spits out is accurate or good enough. It is easier to review my own work than it is to review AI work. Also, with AI writing, you lose the tone and persuasiveness of the specific attorney. Legal writing is an art, especially in court pleadings, and it is necessary to have that tone, that argument, that persuasiveness as part of the writing, and AI just kind of sounds like a robot and doesn't have that persuasiveness, that special tone that an individual attorney can impart in the writing. You know how some partners will always make changes to your writing and things like that. That's because they're going for their style. The AI is never going to get your style. It's not going to do that. And so it's never going to completely emulate a human attorney writing on behalf of their client. Okay, and the final use case for AI as an attorney is to have an AI assistant. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out what an AI assistant can do for me in a personal context because all of the things I want it to do are things it can't do. It can't go drive and pick up a prescription. It can't go mail a letter or ship a package back to Amazon. It can't do any of those things that are the things I don't have time to do. It can't even make a call and make a doctor's appointment for me. So I'm still trying to figure out how it can be my personal assistant in my personal life, but it definitely can't be my assistant in my legal life. There's a lot of reasons for that, but primarily it's because it can't do any of the things that lawyers need to do. It really can't organize my calendar or schedule appointments in the way that is actually helpful to me. It can't send emails without my input, and all of these things are just fluff that the AI companies want you to think make this tech valuable. But in reality, it's just setting up people to play with some tools for a little bit and see what they can do before they do the tasks themselves. It's really just a distraction, not an actual helpful tool. Further, the biggest problem that I see with AI is that it is weakening the skills of existing attorneys and reducing the skills that new attorneys learn. Attorneys are starting to rely on AI instead of doing the tasks themselves, which is slowly degrading the skills of attorneys. It's also degrading our thought process and our judgment when we aren't using those things. Just like any other muscle in our body, it starts to degrade. And so the more we rely on these other tools to do the things that we would have been doing, the less we're actually flexing our own cognitive muscles. While I'm all for things that make our work more efficient and do our jobs easier, I am not for things that replace us or make us lazier. And I don't think AI can replace an attorney, but I do think it can degrade the legal profession to where we have even less respect than we do now, based on, like that attorney who used ChatGPT to draft a brief. I mean, he's a laughing stock, and that's not cool. He thought he was doing what was marketed to him, right? And that's just one example of how it can degrade the profession and make us look bad. We need all the help we can get in a good positive outlook from society, and we don't need to use AI for that. Okay, so if you disagree with me about AI, then I want to hear about it in the comments below. If you work for or own AI tech that has a legal solution, come at me. I want to hear it. I want to talk about it. Let me know what you think. But for me, I don't think it works, and I don't think it adds any value to a legal department at this point in time, at least. Now, if you are considering some type of AI tool and you want to get my opinion on how it might be able to help you, go ahead and schedule a call with me. I would love to discuss the AI tool and how you think it might help or think I'm wrong. The link to schedule a call with me is in the pinned comment in the description below. And if you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment about why you also agree that AI is not the answer for lawyers. And until next time, hackers, bye.